Let's just go ahead and get this out of the way because everyone's talking about it. In this week's chapter of One Piece, Big Mom is able to ride Zeus the Cloud just like Goku rides a flying Nimbus in the Dragon Ball series. Is that awesome? Yes, it's freaking awesome. This week's manga chapter of One Piece was really surprising in my opinion, as I figured that the Straw Hat Pirates were going to make a very quick escape from Whole Cake Island, and they were simply going to be pursued by Big Mom and her family. And while these things still are going down, what nobody could have predicted is that Big Mom has got a bad case of the munchies. She wants a wedding cake, and she wants it now. But she's gonna go about some really crazy means of making that happen, which is her signature way of saying, fuck everyone, get out of my way, where's the damn cake? She even goes as far as actually killing her son Opera, who honestly had it coming, to be perfectly honest. And she goes on a rampage after the Straw Hat Pirates, after her son Pero Sparrow cooks up this ridiculous plot, saying that the Straw Hat Pirates actually do have a cake, but they stole it from Big Mom. The most delicious cake in the world. And this is when Big Mom goes on her very own personal cloud-flying journey to take on the Straw Hat Pirates and get her damned dessert. However, she does threaten Pero Sparrow by saying that if he is lying, she will take away his lifespans. This presents two brand new challenges for Big Mom and her family. One, they have to worry about the fact that Big Mom is going to be going in such a rage that she's going to just destroy everything, including their home altogether. And they're going to have to make a cake. Luckily, Pudding is still around, and because she's a freaking moron, she doesn't realize that Sanji was actually being truthful about her eye, and she took it as basically a slight. So she wants to get back at the Straw Hat Pirates by meeting up with her sister Chiffon, the wife of Capone Beiji, and she wants to make a chiffon cake with her. And she's gonna do it by any means necessary. And man, she has just gone full evil in this chapter. She has no problem with smiling and looking all evil and having a gun in her hand. Long gone is the super sweet image of Pudding. Now she is Pudding, the villain. The end of this week's chapter predictably ends with a lot of ridiculous shit. This is the One Piece manga series after all, with Luffy and his crew making their way to the edge of the Seducing Woods, where they run into King Bomb, who is still heavily injured, but still managing to play the field by talking with a lady tree. How do trees even have sex with one another? Do they have sex on this island? Is anybody curious about this? Do lady trees get wood? But, look, the point is Luffy and his friends jump up on top of this tree, they're getting ready to escape, and right as they're making their way through the Seducing Woods, suddenly coming out of the sky like a giant freaking meteorite of death is Big Mom herself, who is super pissed off. She's ripped off her pirate hat. You can see the bandana that she's wearing. Her eyes are glazed over and twirling, and she just looks mad as hell. Ending this week's chapter, and of course pissing off everybody who's going to look at that small little bit of dialogue at the very edge of the final page, letting us know that we're going to be on break next week. The good thing is, though, when it does come back, we are going to get a double issue, so that's definitely something to look forward to. So what's the rundown on this week's chapter of One Piece? Very surprising. I honestly thought that they were going to make a quick escape from the Whole Cake Island, and now that Big Mom is literally getting ready to drop down on top of them and cause all sorts of damage, I'm really curious to see what's going to happen. A fight could ensue, although we have to realize that after all the damage they took before, there's just no way that Luffy and his friends are going to be able to take on Big Mom, so my feeling is that someone might actually appear to actually save them, and that's why I'm really excited for the next chapter, because there's probably going to be one hell of a surprise. There may have even been some potential hints in this chapter as to what could happen, with the cover story this week focusing on Bartolomeo and his crew as they arrive at one of the bases or the headquarters or the camps of red-haired Shanks, who is nowhere to be seen. Could we potentially be seeing the return of that character soon? Maybe he's arrived on Whole Cake Island and we don't know it. Maybe the Marines have showed up. Maybe there's a complete and utter surprise that we could not potentially expect. Maybe Zoro and them are going to show up. Maybe something bad happened on their end and we're going to find out later. There's just so many possibilities for what could happen here, because after the whole fucking chateau falling over and transforming into cake and everything, I was like, that's it. That's how they're going to escape. It's the most logical reason right now. But now that we got Big Mom who's coming down and just getting ready to just completely destroy all of them, I just cannot wait to see what's going to happen. I don't see the arc ending with Luffy actually defeating Big Mom. If they did, I think it might have been too much of an ass pull. They need to pump the brakes just a little bit and build up these characters a little bit more, because they firmly established these emperors are really powerful, and they're not people that you want to mess with at all, or even take lightly in any sort of situation. And the fact that Luffy and his entire group were basically taken out by her family, like, single-handedly without much of a sweat, really does speak for how powerful they are, even though it is hinted by Katakuri in this week's chapter that Luffy is going to be one hell of a threat for Big Mom if he doesn't do anything about this. This chapter was also really great, just getting to see all of Big Mom's family completely freak out over the prospect of her actually destroying the island. It really must be terrifying to be a part of Big Mom's family, knowing that you're constantly walking on eggshells, and all it takes is like one wrong move to piss off your mom, who will literally rip your damn soul out. And besides, how could you not love this chapter? Big Mom was riding on Zeus like Goku on the Nimbus. That was a really funny scene, and man, it shows that she can pretty much go anywhere as long as she has that cloud, who, man, Zeus, to be able to hold up that much woman, that's definitely commendable, and that definitely made it one of the most unique chapters of this arc right here. And mostly I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say about this chapter and what you think is going to be happening, like if Big Mom's actually going to somehow defeat them, if they're going to be saved by someone, what sort of tricks are they going to be able to do to get away from the Whole Cake Island this time, especially because Strusen's not going to be much help anymore. He's been completely knocked out from falling over after turning everything into cake, and who else could, like, actually stop Big Mom? Like, if there's another big explosion or some sort of crazy thing happens, how are they going to potentially stop this mad woman and her rage? Just so excited. Make sure to tell me all your thoughts in the comments section below. I loved this chapter personally. It's one of those like perfect chapters in my opinion. Just the dialogue was riveting. The great panels of Big Mom freaking out and flying through the air are great. King Bomb returning was fantastic, and that final panel with Big Mom ripping off her pirate hat alone is worth the price of admission. Check it out, guys. 5 out of 5 from me. Again, make sure to tell me what you thought about this chapter, but remember to subscribe to the channel for all things One Piece anime and manga related. I review both the anime and the manga series. Make sure to check those out on our channel. And of course, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'll see you guys next time. And as always, stay dandy, baby.